So, just like tell me about the prairie and the yard and what you did with it when you moved in.
Yeah, so when we moved in, the yard was just a big football field. It was just totally turf grass. I think we moved in November 2005, and then we kind of researched how to put a prairie in. So the way we did that, unfortunately, like the worst part of installing a prairie is you have to kill off the turf grass. So there's one funny story about that, which is the most exhausting part of this whole thing is you have to get rid of all that dead grass. And then I thought, I'm just gonna, instead of like taking a wheelbarrow around and like creating a huge pile of grass somewhere, I'm just gonna burn these piles of grass. And I
How did
called
you
my friend who does prairie burning. This is my friend Andy. And I said, Andy, like, can I light these on fire or do I have to worry about it spreading? And he told me that it wouldn't carry through just that little bit of what's referred to as duff that's left
know?
over. And everyone was in the backyard sitting in lawn chairs and drinking glasses of wine. And we lit one of these on fire, and then this ring of fire started emanating out. It was just going to keep spreading and start every pile on fire, and we started running around. I was in flip flops. Uncle John was in dress shoes, and we ran around trying to stop that fire out. And everywhere we did, we would like turn around, and a new ring of fire would start expanding. And then eventually, like we panicked and we yelled, and people ran buckets of water out. But it was really a big, embarrassing mess. The first year, every year different seeds take hold. So the first year we had like almost nothing except brown-eyed Susan, thousands and thousands of brown-eyed Susan. And there must be some sort of interaction between that plant and the butterflies, because the other thing that happened the first year is thousands and thousands of butterflies hatch. I think they're painted ladies. It was a native butterfly. And anyway, that was the only time that happened, but it was pretty neat because it was the first year our prairie bloomed and there were thousands of butterflies. I mean, ecologically, it supports native insects, which supports native birds and native wildlife. It also sequesters an amazing amount of greenhouse gases. It puts carbon into the ground at a depth of like up to 12 feet. So like the prairie root system is absolutely prolific. So not only do we need to preserve it, but after you do it, you wonder why we just don't work harder at any sort of available green space propagating prairie. We like to use grass because we can just mow it and it's one way to manage it, but we should be using native prairie much more. And sometimes now you do see it along highways. They're planting it under solar farms. But it would be great if it was just more standard practice to grow it like absolutely everywhere you can grow it.